In 2019, fast fashion was dominated by companies like H&M and Zara. Almost nobody had heard of Shein. But just 3 years and one global pandemic later, Shein has 50% of the US market share. How could an unknown company from China disrupt the fast fashion industry like that? And will Shein eventually put billion-dollar companies like H&M and Zara out of business? One thing is for sure, the established brands have completely missed the boat on how to sell to Gen Z customers. Which is honestly surprising because this is exactly their target group. But it allowed Shein to swoop in and quickly gain market share. When TikTok started blowing up, Shein was the company to quickly take advantage of that by organizing Shein hauls and using a wide network of micro-influencers. They didn't go for big names and multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns. Instead, they paid thousands and thousands of small influencers on TikTok to endorse Shein. And it totally worked, with Shein going viral all over TikTok. And while Shein was dominating social media, selling products faster than they can produce them, traditional companies like Zara and H&M were scrambling to keep up. Most of their revenue traditionally still comes from brick-and-mortar stores. H&M has more than 500 stores in the US alone. So when the pandemic hit, none of them could generate any more sales, and that was devastating to H&M. At the same time, they still had to pay rent for all of those stores. So they were losing billions of dollars while Shein had none of those costs. They are set up to be a brutally lean and efficient business, which allows them to react very quickly to changes in the market. That shows in them selling only via their app and their website, but it doesn't stop there. It also trickles down through their entire supply chain all the way to the sourcing of their products. Because while other fast fashion brands like H&M and Zara have their own design teams that comes up with new styles, new ideas, new fashion, and then produces large quantities of that to sell in their stores, Shein has found a much more efficient approach to that. They outsource both the design and the production of the items that they sell, and they initially only order between 100 and 200 pieces. It's only after an item proves to sell well that they order more. With this tactic, they can churn out new products at a mind-blowing speed. Every single day, Shein publishes 6,000 new products on their site. Last year, Shein had 1.3 million items listed. For comparison, H&M only had 25,000. But because Shein is only ordering small quantities of each item, they manage to keep their waste at a minimum. The traditional fast fashion giants take weeks from designing a product to eventually selling it in their brick-and-mortar stores, thereby often missing out on fashion trends. And if you are too slow to react to a trend, that might lead to large amounts of waste. H&M has roughly $4 billion worth of unsold products every single year. Shein, on the other hand, manages to sell an astonishing 98% of its inventory. And they manage to do so by having such quick turnaround time while at the same time keeping such low levels of inventory. Basically, they only produce items once they have already sold them. So with Shein dominating social media, having low overhead costs thanks to being purely online, reacting blazing fast to new fashion trends, and keeping their waste at an absolute minimum, does the rest of the fast fashion industry even stand a chance against this competitor on steroids? Right now, clearly Shein is winning with a company valuation of more than 100 billion US dollars, which is more than the market value of H&M, Zara and ASOS combined. But that being said, Shein has been criticized for their exploitative working conditions and their complete lack of sustainability. They have promised to focus more on that going forward, but if they do, that might take away their ability to undercut prices the way they currently do. Furthermore, right now Shein is taking advantage of a loophole in the tariff system of the US, which allows them to ship their products directly to the end customer without paying any tariffs. If, however, the US decided to go and close that loophole, that would definitely make things more difficult for Shein. The future will show how the fast fashion wars will escalate, but either way, it's gonna be an interesting story to follow. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time.